What it do? What it do? Welcome back to After the Snap. I'm your host, Tasha Pierce. It's Sunday, Stream Stuff to Sunday. We got three shows that we're trying to get through. The three shows are Hawkeye, The Wheel of Time, Star Trek Discovery. We about to do this thing in quick and spectacular fashion. Um, this was a week of ups and downs as far as stuff that I watched. Started off a little rocky, but we ended up with a really good, I think, a good finishing off point for at least one of our series. Uh, a good, we're going to move into the next step of solving a problem in another series. And then one of the series was meh. I'll let you guess which is which. You ain't going to have to guess long. You won't have to guess long because I am about to tell you how I felt about, let's start with Hawkeye. Now, I'm going to tell you, I got lost over the holidays. By the way, happy holidays. If I haven't given you my season greetings yet, happy holidays. I got lost in these holidays and I actually forgot what day of the week it was. So I had to scramble. I don't have your beautiful slideshow prepared or nothing like that. It's just me and you. We're going to talk. We're going to start with So This Is Christmas. That was the final episode of Hawkeye. Now, let me see. Now, if you didn't know, I was super excited for this series. Like, this was one that I was really excited for because this is not somebody coming from the point of view of what's up, Lysandra? This wasn't somebody coming from the point of view of a super powered individual, just like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This was coming from every man's man. He just the only thing that Hawkeye brings to the battle is his own bow and arrows, trick arrowheads, and his own courage. So, a little part of me is like, okay, we're about to say goodbye to a character. You did, Angus. You made it on time. We're about to say goodbye to a character that that we have come to know and love over the course of some decades. So I'm like, okay, let's see if we can nail this landing. Let's see if the final episode lives up to what the rest of it was. I'm going to give you a quick synopsis. As Eleanor meets the Kingpin to break off their partnership, Barton and Bishop watch a recording of them and learn that Eleanor killed Armand and framed Duquesne. On Christmas Eve, Barton and Bishop attend Eleanor's holiday party, where Bishop confronts her mother and learns her father owed money to the Kingpin, leading to Eleanor working with him. Now, Kazi attempts to assassinate Eleanor on Kingpin's orders, but he saw Clint, decided to target him instead. Barton enlists help from Grills, the LARPers, and Duquesne to evacuate the party before rejoining Bishop to defeat the tracksuit mafia. Then Maya, incapacitates Kazi. Bishop attempts to look for Eleanor while Barton is confronted by Yelena, who demands the truth of Natasha Romanoff's death. They fight, but he reminds her of his friendship with Romanoff and her sacrifice to save the universe. Yelena spares him and leaves. Kingpin tries to stop Eleanor from escaping, but Kate arrives and incapacitates him with Barton's trick arrows. Afterwards, Eleanor is arrested by the police for Armand's murder. Kingpin escapes, but is confronted by Maya as a gunshot is heard. The next day, Barton returns to his family with Bishop and Lucky, and he gives the watch to Agent 19, which is Laura, and he burns the Ronin suit, which kind of confused me because the Ronin suit was in that fire in Kate's apartment, didn't burn up. I thought it was flame retardant. Apparently it's not, but here we are. That was what this episode was about. Angus says he maintains that Clint's accuracy and vision are superpowers. It does make him far more effective as a assassin than I would be because I can't see like 2 feet in front of me. But I think that is, I guess that can be considered a power, being accurate and having the vision, like when he's sitting up high, how he can see the whole world around him. I'll take that. I'll buy that. Um, I gave you pretty much a complete rundown of this episode. And while there was so much to love, it was a little lackluster in its execution to me. Um, I knew that it might be a problem simply because there was so much that had to be tied up in this final episode. It wasn't like we got some resolution here and there. These things all had to be put, a nice little bow had to be put on them in this final episode, and I just don't know if if it was done in a satisfactory manner to me. Now, other people may have truly loved this finale. I feel like we could have done a little bit better. I'm not 100% sure where I would have gone with it. I just know that what I saw, while it was cool and it wasn't a complete and total utter disappointment, it was just okay to me. And unlike a lot of people, I liked the season finales of WandaVision. I liked the season finale of Loki. I was okay with the season finale of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And this one, I guess I could say I was okay with. Wasn't blown away by it. What did you guys think? If you watched the season finale of Hawkeye, what did you think of the season finale? Did it leave enough doors open? The Kingpin thing. It left the door open on the Kingpin thing because of a comic book issue that had Maya shooting Kingpin in the face. We didn't see a body, so I am 100% positive that we are going to see a very pissed off Wilson Fisk when we get time, when it comes time for the Echo series. Oh my! Now, if you guys don't have anything to add or whatever with this one, I'm gonna go ahead on and give my star rating out of 5. I will give this one a 3.75 out of 5. Wasn't spectacular, wasn't the worst thing, what worst ending to a series. So oh gosh, you said you think Clint straight up killed a whole mess of track suits, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know. The arrows, the trick arrows that they took with them were supposed to be more. I don't know if we call it effective, deadly. They were dangerous. I'll say that. Those trick arrows that they took with them on this battle were more dangerous. So yeah, you have to assume some tracksuits got themselves killed. Now, especially the ones in the little bitty truck that the little truck, Trust the Bro truck. Yeah. Now those guys that got shrunk with the Pym arrow and then got picked up by the owl. Yeah, it's a wrap for them. It's a wrap. They not coming back from that. There are other ones who were blown away and blown here and there. Those concussion type grenade arrowheads. Yeah, it was a lot of more deadly stuff used this time. He wasn't just trying to incapacitate. He was trying to pretty much get him out his way for good. You said it made you wonder why he regretted being Ronin. And I guess like because he was on the offense, he wasn't being defensive. Because like in these situations here, he was being defensive. It was him or them. So yeah, I don't mind him defending himself. But when he went on the offensive as Ronin, and he was just out there exacting vengeance, he was in effect being Thanos to them. He was decimating their forces just like Thanos kind of halved ours. So yeah, I kind of get the whole Ronan Clint thing. Um, Yeah, I think Clint, they put a bow on his character. Okay, hopefully we see him again, because this wasn't like a proper goodbye. This was just, I'm handing this mantle over. So hopefully we see him again. Hopefully we get a part two. And I know that these series, they really haven't been aiming at giving you a second season, but I would like to see a second season with the Hawkeye character being Kate all by herself. So not like this is Clint Barton uh training up or helping somebody to become the next Hawkeye. I want to see a season where Kate Bishop is Hawkeye, and maybe he's in the background. He's just there for moral support. Angus also said, without seeing Fisk in the morgue, he ain't dead. Shot once, maybe, but there's a lot of bullets needed to body bag the kingpin. This is true. And the they had the episode, I mean the issue of the comic book where Maya shot Kingpin in the face and it blinded him temporarily. So this is a situation where we have just adapted a bunch of different Kingpin stories, and because that was with Maya and Kingpin, where she shot him in the face, that's why I feel like we'll pick that back up in Echo, the series. You said Kate and Yelena should be on the new Avengers. Yeah, excuse me, or the Young Avengers. I don't know. I'm looking at what direction they're going with this. They've each episode or each series on Disney Plus has introduced a character that is part of the Young Avengers. Starting with WandaVision with her two boys. They were members of the Young Avengers. Then we went to Falcon and the Winter Soldier with Isaiah Bradley, or Isaiah Bradley was the grandfather. I forgot what the young one's name. He was a Bradley, his grandson. He becomes a Patriot as a Young Avenger. Then we had, and let me see, we went from WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, uh, Loki, Kid Loki in the Loki series was a Young Avenger, and Nathaniel Richards, uh, one of the Richards. Oh, I wish I could remember which one right now. One of the Richards offspring became Iron Lad, but he started off as Nathaniel Richards, and that was one of the alter egos of Kang the Conqueror. So we got a good setup. We got a good setup. We're going to see Miss Marvel. We're going to see America Chavez. We got a lot of pieces to the Young Avengers puzzle coming up. So I'm keeping my eye on that too. Ironheart, right? She's coming in Wakanda Forever, and she's very well could be a member of our Young Avengers team as well. I don't know if we'll have uh, Ironheart and Iron Lad, but we shall see. And Kamala Khan, of course, that is the Miss Marvel character, or Ms. Marvel, the Ms. Marvel character. So we got her too. We got all the pieces. They keep saying that it's not something that's on our radar, but there are something like 20 unnamed projects that are in development at Disney Plus, and I can almost guarantee you that a Young Avengers has to be one of them. They wouldn't have set all these pieces on the chessboard if they didn't plan on playing the game. So, oh yeah, I gave you my star rating for Hawkeye. It wasn't the worst, wasn't the best. It was meh for me. Okay, and boy, I zoomed through Hawkeye. Just because it's not like, usually it's about at least 5 to 10 of you in here, and everybody's got their own commentaries. So if you don't have anything else for that, I'm gonna ask you what you're watching, and you're gonna tell me what we should be watching. And yeah, give me your highest recommendation for streaming series or movies. Let's go. So if you got anything streaming or movies, let me know what it is. We could try to put that on the list of things that we might want to watch in the near future. Let me see. I got something here. Oh yeah, you said She-Hulk is coming too. Yeah, I actually liked what I saw from the trailers or the teasers of She-Hulk. Yeah, I've heard that Encanto was pretty good, and I think I might have to watch it. I keep I'll say what I'm gonna do, and then the time will run out on me. It's not enough hours. Not enough hours in the day for me to do all the things that I say I'm gonna do. But Encanto is definitely on my list. I think Lysandra also recommended that to me. So yep, now that we got it on Disney Plus, I think I will give it a go. I'm gonna give it a go. Lysandra is agreeing with you, Angus. She said Encanto was amazing. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it. I don't know what to expect, and I think I like it that way. It gives me less things to rack my mind about, I guess, because I do that. I can't just watch a show. I have to immerse myself in it. So I don't know what's going on with Encanto. I'm gonna watch it. I am going to watch it. I'm trying to think. Did anybody watch Don't Look Up yet? Don't Look Up is on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet, but that's on that's on my list as well to watch. Don't Look Up. Uh, that might even be a film review. We gonna see because I don't know if I'm gonna feel like leaving the house. Not with the way things are going with this with this little virus. So we'll see though. Uh, Lysandra said Lock and Key on Netflix is good. That's one that's kind of been, I think it's a couple of seasons of that at least. Angus says, I have it queued. Don't Look Up. Waiting for the right mood. I think I am too, Angus. And I've really been a lazy bumpkin over the last few days. Like I said, I lost track of the week. Didn't even realize that today was Sunday. It's crazy. So that's why I'm like, okay, we got to do this. Give myself a little bit of time to wrap my mind around doing it because obviously this is later than what I typically do this show. Angus said, I've been watching Young Justice. I love Young Justice. And it's touching on some big things in the setting. I'm gonna have to catch up on season. What is this now of Young Justice? Season 3 or 4? I'm gonna have to catch up on it though because I fell off. I watched the first couple episodes and then I fell off. Lysandra also says The Witcher is good. That's another thing that I kind of want to get into. I kind of get intimidated by adding another series to my to my watch list because that's a lot to I guess commit yourself to. It's a whole nother series when I'm obviously watching 4 or 5 series a week already, and I'm not. This is not. Don't feel like work. When then you start adding, the more you add, the more it starts to feel like work. Angus says, from winter solstice to Boxing Day, no one can be expected to be productive. I will sign up for that. Yes, I am very unproductive, especially this week. So we are on season 4 of Young Justice. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to catch up because I haven't watched. I think I might have watched the first 2 episodes, and then I just fell off. So I'm gonna get back into it because I love that. I have always. My son got me started on that. I have always loved that show. I'm glad they brought it back. Lost in Space is good. Yes, another series. Get yourself, and this is the final season of the Lost in Space series. So, and it's not really heavy. Like if you don't have anything else on your watch list, you can get through Lost in Space, all 3 seasons, maybe in the weekend, and it's good. Angus said, the source material for The Witcher is very Polish, very Slavic. It has a foreign flavor to it, but that's a good thing. Yes, give me something that I haven't seen before. Because, everything being cookie cutter to one another is, it starts to get boring. So if The Witcher's got a different flavor, that's even pushed me back into saying I might want to get immersed in that series. I don't have it's either all or nothing. I don't know how to go midway with something. So here I am. I'm gonna get the Witcher. What's up, Mr. Brown? Mr. Brown says I have to re-up on my Netflix and get back to The Witcher and Lost in Space. So yes, and greetings and salutations from the rest of the chat, Mr. Brown. Yeah, I never got into The Witcher, but I've got, like, Lysandra has told me The Witcher. It's been a few people who was like, I won't be disappointed. So I'm gonna try to watch The Witcher, and I guess I can move it to where we're going next. We're going with The Wheel of Time next week, since it's got a season finale as well. And I don't know if you guys are watching this. Man, this was so good. I was so glad because this week, Lysandra gave us another one, and I didn't even see it. The Umbrella Academy. Yeah, I'm waiting on the next season. We just waiting on the next season. Now, the first couple of seasons, just really and truly, I'm a Mary J. Blige fan. So for her to have been in there kicking butt, that was one thing. But I'm all the way in with the Umbrella Academy. I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna work things out around Mr. Page. We'll see. Okay, if that is it, if everybody has given me what you're watching, I appreciate everybody's contributions to that conversation. We got some stuff now that is on our list to watch, and we can move into The Wheel of Time episode 8. This one was called The Eye of the World. It was the season finale of this season of The Wheel of Time. And like I was saying, I cut myself off. I'm a little scatterbrained today. The beginning of the week, I watched earlier in the week. The first thing was Hawkeye. And like I said, meh. But the second thing was The Matrix Resurrections. And let me tell you, if you haven't already seen my review, we also did a light spoiler talk a couple of days ago with I did with Clarence and Reinhardt in the chat. I was not the least little tiny itsy bitsy teensy weensy bit impressed with The Matrix Resurrections. In fact, if Karen had not have come out in 2021, Mr. Osano, if Karen had not have come out, I think The Matrix would have been my worst movie of the year. Like, I've seen some bad movies. Some of them were bad, and I didn't have very high expectations for them anyway. But I had high expectations for The Matrix Resurrections. Don't ask me why. And when the series, when the series was, when the franchise, I'm sorry, as the franchise was moving on and the movies were taking a step in quality, just one step down in quality each time, I still found a way to be satisfied with the ending of The Matrix back in Revolutions. And then here we come with 18 years later, we come with a sequel, and you've had 18 years to think of how you might want to build upon this thing, and it was so bad to me. Yes, Matrix was a little too meta, and Another part of it was I just don't feel like it knew what it wanted to be. Now there is a guy, Ryan Airy from Screen Crush. Um, he does those breakdown videos, kind of new rock stars esque. They are similar channels. He was breaking it down and he was explaining, well, this is what this meant and this is what that meant. And while I'm like, that does make it more interesting what Ryan Airy is saying, it didn't. I don't know if that resonated with just your more casual. I'm not. I can't dissect a movie like that. That's just not what I do. So if I don't have that particular skill, then all of what you guys were doing was lost on a regular audience member, I guess is what I'm saying. But anywho, Matrix was a disappointment. Then I was like, oh gosh, we got 2 more episodes, The Wheel of Time and then our Star Trek Discovery. And I'm like, I really hope that they don't disappoint. So we go into The Wheel of Time, episode 8, The Eye of the World, and I was not disappointed with this season finale. Let me see what Clarence got over here. Clarence said, I've heard opinions all over the place from a lot of folks. In my opinion, too meta. And someone else said the movie changed over time as the creator changed. It definitely was a letdown for me. So I am in complete and total agreement with Clarence. This movie was, and yeah, everybody got an opinion, and everybody. It's a good thing that my opinion is the only one that doesn't matter, because it'd be a whole lot of stuff that people would miss out on that they might like. So my opinion is not the only one that matters. However, I've seen enough opinions to say that the vision was murky for this movie. If your intention was to make it so deep that you have to, break this thing down and watch it 5, 6, 7 times, you should have made a watchable movie. Because to me, this thing was not watchable. It was it switched directions, changed lanes far too much. I could keep going about the Matrix, but I will just go on to say it was a disappointment for me. All right, let's go with this Eye of the World. 3,000 years ago, in a futuristic society, the Tamerlan seat warns Louis Thurn Telemon of the dangers of his plan to imprison the Dark One. In Faldara, Nynaeve tells Lan how to track Moiraine. Faldara is attacked by thousands of Trollocs. In the Blight, Moiraine gives Rand a Sangreal. I'm not saying that right. Sangreal, an ancient object to enhance his power to defeat the Dark One. At the Eye, Rand sees a vision of him and Egwene starting a family, which the Dark One tells him can come to fruition if he gives his power to the Shadow. Now, the Dark One cuts Moraine's connection to the One Power, which was so heartbreaking to me. As the army falls, the women channel against the attack and succeed, but burn from excessive channeling. Nynaeve sacrifices herself to save Egwene, who then heals Nynaeve. Now, Perrin uncovers the Horn of Valir for the dragon to summon the greatest warriors. Padan Fain steals it, revealing he was a dark friend who visited the Two Rivers to find the 5 Ta'veren, focal points of fate. So 5, they say he said there's usually only one. This time it was 5 in the same city. So yeah, Rand chooses the real Egwene, hitting the Dark One with the Sangreal and fracturing the unbreakable symbol he stood upon. Fearing madness, he goes into hiding. Lan finds Moiraine, who tells him that this was not the last battle. And in the west, great exotic ships arrive, channeling powerful waves. So that was our, I guess, recap breakdown of the Wheel of Time. The Wheel of Time, episode 8, The Eye of the World. This one gave me a little bit more to chew on. The Eye of the World was, if you if you want a season finale to kind of hold you over, give you some things to think about moving into the next series, then this did its job. It closed out a few arcs. We found out who the dragon was. Uh oh yeah. I was saying the same thing, Clarence. Uh he said, what a freaky shocker in the cold open. I didn't realize how the world was technologically advanced and then plunged back into the middle ages after the emergence of the last dark one. Yes, because again, the Dragon Reborn is fighting this dark one. He's either going to save the world or he's going to destroy it. So apparently, Luz Theron, the last Dragon Reborn, he destroyed it. He destroyed it. So yes, just to see all the flying, all the technology and everything that they had to be plunged. Could that happen? Could that happen here? Like, for instance, that's just a question. Like, if the electric grid went down, would we go back to dark ages or what? That's a good thing to think about. Lysandra said, I want it to come back on, and she wants it to come back on in January. Yeah, if I could get it to do that, I would be 100% on board with just bringing it right back in January. Angus says, one of the vistas in the first or second episode showed us a city of skyscrapers that were all overgrown with vegetation. I didn't even pay attention. Now I'm going to have to go back and look. And Clara said, good point, Angus. I missed that. Yeah, I missed it too, because I wasn't expecting to see it. But now, just like you said, with this, the way that this civilization was so advanced at one point, now I have to go back and watch it again with a different mindset. Like, what am I missing? Because I was all in on it just being a middle-aged society, not a society that had been so advanced and then regressed. They had freaking flying vehicles and everything out there. Angus said, without electricity for a prolonged period, our society would revert to the Wild West era levels of technology. Yeah. That's actually scary. Because that's one or two electronic pulses from the sun or something. That is one or two of those types of accidents away from happening here. Lysandra said, then it showed you that it might take all five of them. Yes, just as I was saying, Patton Fane said, as he was I'm so sorry, excuse me. I'm sorry. As he was monologuing when he was talking to Perrin, Patton Fane says that he knew that there were 5 focal points of fate in the 2 rivers. He went there to find them, and he knew who the 5 were, which means that Matt is going to play back into this thing. You don't want him to turn completely dark, but it didn't look promising at the end of this episode. Angus says some fantasy genre tropes revolve around a cycle of tech rise and fall and rise again. And thank you, thank you, Clarence. Thank you, Lysandra. And Angus also says, I hope it takes all of them. That would be more interesting. It's looking like it is going to take them all, because that wasn't the final battle. Rand kind of beat the Dark One a little too easily, and I started to sit back on my hunches like, oh man, they made it too easy. But then we saw what else was going on, and we realized that it's not over, because if the Dark One had just fallen and it was over. The fight between Rand and the Dark One was the final battle. Then all the rest of that stuff would have stopped. It would have been unnecessary. But because everything kept going on, I knew that there's another fight to be had, and these others are going to show what they were supposed to bring to the fight with the Dark One, if I'm making sense. But yeah, I think it would be far more interesting to have all 5 of them have to link up and battle this Dark One, and it makes Matt's decision to stay behind that much more important. And now, all of the wishing that I did. Oh, I hope the red Aja finds Matt and kills him. Well, now we can't have that because we're going to need Matt to battle. We're going to need Matt to battle the Dark One. Praise dance to save the city. Now, did anybody else ask themselves, if these women were so powerful, they was going to be able to bring these Trollocs down the way that they did, why were they not out at the outer gates and the men had fallen back to protect the city? Did anybody ask themselves that? Because I asked myself, like, well, they did that backwards. They could have saved all the men's lives by having the women go and do the channeling thing. I don't know. And then I see how easy it is to get drunk on the power. Or I guess we could say they caught the Holy Ghost. We're gonna stay with the praise dance thing. The ladies caught the Holy Ghost and just would not let go, and they just burned themselves up. Like, Clarence, those men died for nothing. If those women could have did that, and all you potentially might lose is 5 women, or you're gonna lose every man, every single man in the city. I think I was be like, no, you 5 go out there, y'all go out there, and if you guys can't stop them, then we'll be back here ready to protect the city. So, Lysandra, you was wondering the same thing. Say, are they wearing out the "I can bring you back to life" trope already? I haven't gotten tired of it yet myself now. I'm not tired of it just yet. I just don't want that to be the get out of jail free card. Like, oh, so and so died. No, never mind. We'll just get Nynaeve to touch them. And, I don't want it to become that. But because they have already been established as being 2 powerful women with a powerful emotional connection to each other, I'm going to forgive it. I'm going to forgive it. Lysandra says she waiting to see what the water ladies are going to do. Yes, they come through with ships, a full armada of ships, and then them damn cats. Anywho, and then they they come with this armada of ships. Then they start doing their praise dancing, and they yanking up whole tsunamis. A tsunami, it's a child standing on the beach. Y'all pulling up a tsunami. So yes, is that like a different Aja? Tell me about these women. What am I missing? Let me see. We're gonna go back because it was like those great exotic ships arrive, channeling powerful waves. Yes, who are they? They gotta be Asadar, though, right? Right? And is there an Aja that controls water? And if there is, where the hell was they at when we was fighting? We needed all of that. We needed all of that. As far as like, I felt like it was satisfactory. I am completely invested in what happens next. I want to see I want to see more of this Dark One. I do. I want to see more of what's going to happen with Matt, because we saw him looking real crazy at the end of this season. And we know that going into next time we see Matt, The face is going to be different. And I think I had the person who was going to be playing him. I think I had it wrong. I believe it's going to be somebody from The Witcher who is going to be playing Matt Cawthon next year. Let me see. I'm going to look him up. Uh, Sandra said, I'm wondering if he going to change into a wolf man yet. You're talking about Perrin. You know, he had an opportunity. I felt a little, I was a little pissed off at Perrin for whatever it is that you change into. We needed you to change into that thing when you saw Patton Fane inside the halls of this the throne room. I don't remember what we're calling it, but it was like the throne room of the guys who went out and lost their lives for nothing. When Perrin saw Patton Fane strolling around in there, that's when you should have let yourself turn into whatever it is that you turn into. Because now we lost the ogre, we lost those men. There is no more of those men left. There are no more of them. Just crazy. Oh, you say, yeah, they killed your other favorite friend. Yeah. I don't like the fact that I don't like the fact that they killed him. They didn't have to kill him. He was all he was doing was trying to he was non-violent, and all he was trying to do was help. And here they didn't kill the doggone ogre Loyal. So yeah, the dude that's gonna be playing Matt Cawthon next year is Donnell Finn, and that's a guy from The Witcher. Yeah, you liked him too, Clarence, the ogre. Yeah, I liked him. It was heartbreaking that he was taken out for no reason, because Perrin could have defeated them. He could have ripped them from shred to from he could have ripped them to mincemeat. I guess what I should have been trying to say, if he would have allowed himself to change. Now I know he's trying to follow this new mindset, this way of the leaf that he learned from those people that they were traveling with. But man, he could have saved their lives, and he could have kept the horn. We needed the horn on our side, not with Patton Fane and them. And I knew Patton Fane was no damn good the first time I saw his face. I knew he was no good. But yeah, so for me, for this one, on a scale of 1 to 5, I give A Wheel of Time, The Eye of the World, of 4.5. Clarence said, but does he know how to fully use his power yet? I don't think any of them do. Because the only time that we've seen it truly go out and just blow people away is when they were in emotional situations. Well, this should have been an emotional situation. You're there. The fear alone should have been enough emotion to let you bring something out. Yeah, and Lasange, like you said, he let him take the horn too. And Lysandra is also answering, going back to Clarence. She don't think he knows how to I guess control the power, but it seems like the power works so much better when they're out of control. Every time I see it, I see it coming from a place of I'm emotional. The horn is supposed to be something that they keep only to call. They're supposed to blow this horn when, was it for the dragon? For the Dragon Reborn, or they were supposed to during the battle or something like that. The only person who could blow the horn is the Dragon Reborn now. So nobody else could have blown, is supposed to be able to blow this horn. The only person that's supposed to be able to blow it is the Dragon Reborn. And in the top of our minds, we're thinking that that is Rand. And what is this horn for? Rand is already gone. When now we realize it's probably all 5 of them. just like we said a few weeks ago, but it's starting to become more evident that we are going to need all five of these people, because what the horn should have been blown, or the horn should have gone with Rand when he left. If that's the case, if you thought that he was the only Dragon Reborn, I don't know if I'm making sense. But yeah, I liked this season. Now, for the season of Hawkeye, going back in my mind, I'll give the whole season a 4.5 out of 5. Same with this one, 4.5 out of 5. Once I got over the cleanliness of the first two episodes, I started to forget it. Once I started to pull myself out of being a nitpicker, I was like, okay, this is good. I can dig it. I can dig it. Anybody else got anything else we need to discuss about the Wheel of Time? Something else that we might have overlooked? For instance, with Angus telling us about how the old technology of the past was just grown over with weeds and all that, and that sort of thing, and vegetation stuff that I didn't pay attention to. Maybe you saw something that I didn't, and that going into this next season, I need to pay. I mean, going into the rewatch, because I'm gonna rewatch it. Going into the rewatch, I need to keep my eyes on when I'm watching it again. Um, yeah, Clarence, you actually gave Hawkeye a lower score than I did. Yay! That means I'm getting more. I'm getting a little better. I'm not as critical. So you like the 4.5 for Hawkeye. That last episode was a 3.5. It was a 3.75 for me, and then Wheel of Time 4.5. Yeah. So we got one more thing to talk about, and I saved it for last because we still got another episode before we hit the mid-season finale of this one, and that is Star Trek Discovery. So, you guys, if it's nothing else that I need to know about Wheel of Time, because I don't want to move on before everybody is ready. It's a really good first season. A really good first season. I hope that the thing gets more. And we know that the second season is already, half of it has already been recorded, so we know we got that coming. But I hope that we continue the momentum with the Wheel of Time, and give it a full run, so I can see how the story really plays out. I really hate getting all that super invested in a series, and then right before we get some resolution, they cancel it because people suck. Because they suck sometimes. Um, I'm trying to pull up something to read for Star Trek Discovery, because I did. If you didn't know, I did no preparation for today because I forgot that today was Sunday. Don't know how. I think I must have asked Lysandra 3 or 4 times yesterday. Book of Boba Fett is about to start on the 29th. So yes, it will basically be taking the place of either Hawkeye or the Wheel of Time. So what I'm looking at is December 29th. Definitely, we've got sorry, we've got Boba Fett. And then, of course, we'll be doing whatever Star Trek. I think Prodigy is swinging back around after Discovery goes on its mid-season. And then I have to fill one more spot with a series. And a little part of me is saying it might be Peacemaker. I might be just holding back until Peacemaker comes out, unless you guys got um, something else that's on, like either HBO Max or Hulu or something like that. Let me know if it's another series I should be looking at, because Peacemaker is going to make the list because we're not going to have anything else anyway, you know? Yeah. So you have a theory. You got a theory that the protostar is not actually a Federation ship, but one that was built from scans of Voyager when it passed through the area. Hmm. So now, how would they get all of the information? Oh, from the scan, huh? And they'd be able to make uh Janeway into the hologram. I'm wondering how that would work. Not saying that it wouldn't, but yeah, that's a different thought that the that they that they came and got the scans of the Voyager ship when it first came through. The only thing that they did was improved upon it by putting in the protostar drive. Hmm. And then it would make sense. That's why the ship was down there. It was built there. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, we gonna have to keep our eyes. That'll be another thing that I keep on a list of our theories, because let me tell you, I've been dry this year. I haven't really come up with no super theories, but I think it's also because I was like, man, last year it was heartbreaking to me with my little with okay, some of them came true. Some of them came true, but just the way that that doggone burn played out, and I spent so much of my energy. Man, I can't find me a good short synopsis. I guess I can find one quick. I don't have nothing written down. As you can see, all I had ready up with my with my little PowerPoints is my all I had was the title cards ready. I didn't have any filler. I didn't fill anything in. I only did the first card. How was y'all Christmas? Did y'all get to see some kids give you life at Christmas time? I'm telling you. And Angus, I know you said Boxing Day, and is that was that that's today, ain't it? It's today Boxing Day. Said, don't get me started on Kelpian tears. Man, cries when he's born, cries when a toy breaks, but only when his mama dies does he destroy the Federation. Claire said Christmas was okay, no complaints. Yeah, I got a lot of sleep on Christmas. Today is Boxing Day. Okay. See, it was good. Lasandra said it was good. Had another child who just would not stop following me. Yeah, that might be a little hint. Girl, either you having a baby or your son is. Oh gosh. Oh, I just killed myself. You having a baby? Okay, so this stormy weather, this one, and I'm gonna tell you, I enjoyed this episode. Number one, it's always a good thing when you bring in Jonathan Frakes. when you bring in Jonathan Frakes back into the house and he is taking over an episode of Star Trek Discovery, I don't know. It's just something about it. It always feels really uh it feels like, okay, this is in good hands, somebody who understands the franchise, who he's putting so much of himself into the directing, down to the point where Annabelle Wallace, of course, records her stuff because she's not seen, so she doesn't have to be on set with the other actors. And Jonathan Frakes thought that it would be beneficial to the other actors if he brought in an actress to read the lines of Zora, because they needed to play off of that other voice. So instead of him just shouting the lines off screen, off camera, he brought in somebody to do that, and I thought that was a fantastic idea. Uh, Angus said that he liked the focus on Zora; it was beautiful, and he also agrees that Frakes knows a good story and how to tell it. And yeah, now this focus on Zora. What is? Wait a minute. You said, "Oh, number one." You really are number one. I'm missing something. I'm missing something, Kaz. But how are you? How are you? I hope you had a great Christmas. Yeah. Um. So yeah. He. Oh, duh. Yes. Yes. Number one really is number one. You are correct. Yeah. I So I like this episode as well. I like the Zora stuff because to me, yeah, you know I got blah in my mind. It all scattered up. Okay, I get it now. Clara said, I really enjoyed the episode. Not sure I loved it though. I think they really wanted to focus on Zora and Gray and how they are similar in a sense. Uh, Clarence also said, I think we have a lot in store for where they are going with Zora. And that's the way I feel. I felt like, now I might have liked the episode probably more than you did. It sounds like I liked it more than you did. However, I do see what you're saying. They're playing up with the similarities. It's basically like this. Zora is an AI who identifies with being a human. This is her orientation. She doesn't have the body of a human, but she identifies with humanity. She's starting to pick up the human traits. She exhibits these human traits. And so she is in essence a character without a body the way Gray was. And it can also be metaphorical for transgenderism, where people who are identifying more with with another part of themselves, but they outwardly they're something different. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where we go with Zora, because of course it is something that I have been that has been racking my brain for years now. And that is Calypso. I'm like, when are we coming back to Calypso? So uh, the more that Zora evolves, and the more that she gets some screen time and becomes a bigger member of the crew, I know that the closer we're getting to where we are going to see what the Vadrash and what Aldous Hodge, who did he play? Kraft. He played Kraft. I want to know why they introduced us to that, and why have they been hinting at it, and what's big in store. It's got to be something big. Angus said Data had full access to his positronic brain once he could dream. Gray doesn't have the full on computer brain yet. Cass says, I have never watched any Discovery, But that Zora story does sound fun. It is, and I love Discovery. Love it. Uh, Angus also says Zora's access to emotions is essential for her personality to come into fruition. Those emotions are certainly simulated, but they feel real to her. Exactly. Excuse me. Right. So we are going to hopefully get some Calypso answers moving in time. Now, also, another thing that I really, really liked about this episode is that they tried. Now it was still rushed, but they tried to incorporate each person on that bridge got to say or do something in this episode. And that's how simple it can be. Just get them involved. Uh ooh, that's actually a good. Clarence said, I'm troubled a bit by how Zora the computer couldn't focus. Right. But they made it make sense by saying Zora needed to fine tune their senses. I'm still working on understanding that part, though. I mean, it is something to kind of wrap your mind around. Of course, the ship's computer has to focus on so many different things. You got to keep this going. We got to keep that going. We have to do this. We got to do that. So to ask while trying to maintain to ask an emotional mind while trying to maintain everything around them, to ask them to focus on one thing, I guess it could be hard. It is something to think about because I can't explain how a computer loses focus unless it's becoming more and more sent. The fact that it's becoming more and more sentient means that it can't give 100% of its attention to everything. Something is going to get 99% of the attention, and I think that's what Zora the ship was afraid of. I'm not 100% sure though. I guess we figure it out as we uh go along, even though now we got to sit and wait a whole freaking month after the next episode. But that's okay. It's okay. Oh gosh. You said you want to see Oyen Oladejo running down the corridors with a fencing sword and pretending to be a musketeer. Buckle those swashes. Yeah, I'm wondering when it's gonna happen. Like, are we gonna get a naked time naked time type episode? I just want to see this crew have fun. I I felt okay with the fact that in this episode we got to at least hear their voices. And we're getting a story, it seems, in each episode, a little side story about each member of this bridge. We found out something a little bit more about Awosakan in this episode. And I can't remember what the story that she told, but I was like, this is a really bad time to be telling this story. Oh, well. Y'all need to be trying to get to where you guys are going to go up into this pattern buffer. You don't particularly need to be trying to break the story down uh, in the middle of uh, chaos. You say, well, we know Zora ain't a man. We can't multitask. Oh, man. Yeah, because I can't think of a pull up right now. Owo was doing pull-ups. Yes, you gotta have some core control and some upper body strength. But the core control is what really gets hard for fat people like myself. Oh gosh. Oh, Cass says this stream is doing a first, making me sorta wanna start Discovery. So start it. You might not like it. At least you will have given it an opportunity. I think it's good. Now, there are disappointing episodes, there are disappointing story arcs, even. I'll even go that far. Disappointing story arcs. However, overall, I'm seeing a year by year improvement. Um, they are, again, they're starting to understand who this crew is. It's almost like they were afraid to plan this far, but now we know who these people are, and we're getting a better introduction of the rest of the crew. We've gotten very familiar with Saru and Burnham and Tilly, certain characters, but I want to see the characters that we see every week. I want to see them more involved, and that is where we're working on this season, and it seems like they are baby stepping it. Angus says, I suspect Zora's processors and Copilot processors were working overtime trying to process emotional data, and it was hitting 100% CPU. All the other threads took a hit. That is a good way of putting it too, Angus. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Cass says, I heard the first season was rough, but so was TNG. Um, and all the rest of them. Oh, no, original series didn't hit rough until third third season. Oh gosh. But I think all of them had growing pains. All of the series did. Angus said, skip the last 2 episodes of season 3. Just don't. Oh, and Cass says, okay, I'm sold. Go give it a shot. I really hope that you keep me posted as to what you felt about it. Please keep me informed. Clarence said, agreed, Angus. Almost like asking the computer an impossibly non-logical question like Kirk is known to do, and then it just falls apart. The computer just breaks down under the superior logic of Kirk. Said no Trek ever had a good first season. Yeah, it's like they find their way. By the time we get to the middle of the second season, we like, okay, this right here is fire. um Now what was I gonna say? Oh, this episode was this the one? What? What, Clarence? You had a non-Trekkie friend get hooked on the first 2 episodes of Discovery recently. That's the power. All you have to do is give it a little tiny bit of a chance. I'm not gonna push that on my son just yet, though. I'd be like, just watch an episode. And I didn't do that with Discovery with him because I want him to trust my judgment on what he likes. But yeah, I see, because I've got a lot of people who just from hearing us talk about stuff, they want to get involved with me and Lysandra the other night. She was like, yeah, because I used to like that one character in Star Trek that could the male character that could get pregnant. And I'm like, huh? And she's doubling down. And then I thought about it. It had to be the Orville. That's the one that I could think of. If you guys could think of another sci-fi series where the male carried the children, let me know in the comments. Oh, yes. Say, come to the dark side. Non-Trekkie friend. Yes, we want them all. This is not the dark side, though. No, this is not. Say, or that old Aliens TV show. I don't even remember that. Do I remember? I don't even remember that one. No. So Clarence, and if I haven't said it to you, it's like I say it every couple of weeks. Clarence does a show. He does a podcast called Discussing Trek, among other discussing series that they do. They do Discussing Trek, and Clarence had a good theory on what could be causing the DMA. So let me see. Alienation. I do remember that. I do remember Alienation. And Angus said UFO. I don't even remember the show UFO. But yeah, Alienation. So yeah, now what the heck was I? What was he pregnant in, Cass? What movie? It wasn't was it the Running Man? I can't remember. But anywho, um yeah, tell me, Cass, because I don't remember. Junior? Did I see Junior? I don't remember it. Angus said UFO was done by the same people who did Space 1999, but UFO came first. I don't remember. I don't remember Space 1999. Now that'll give me something to do later. um, it was something I was about to say, and I just lost my whole train of thought. So Junior is one of those movies that if you look at the poster, you get the whole movie. Dang. Uh, oh, I was talking about Clarence with his theory. That's what it was. And man, he kind of he kind of made me go into a rabbit hole of thinking like, the what if the DMA was created by Discovery? What if the Federation is the cause of the DMA? And okay, so what he was saying is if Discovery created this issue that made the DMA a thing, right? When they made their what you call it wormhole. When they made their wormhole. So I'm like, okay, that to me is a distinct possibility. It would be that paradox. You know, the other day I was talking about how I got a little high and got to thinking about paradoxes. That would be a paradox where Discovery created the wormhole that's eating the planets, and they are the people who are being tasked with defeating the wormhole, but they created the wormhole, and just round and round and round they go. I don't know. Something to think about. uh, let me see. There was something also. If if the Federation is somehow behind this anomaly, does it or does it not make sense for them to for them to want to be the people who they're benefiting the most from it? They used the anomaly to fast track Navarre into the Federation, which will then bring uh, countless other worlds into the Federation, and further, it they can rule easily by making everybody afraid of this anomaly, which they're controlling, and bring them all into the Federation to make the Federation that much stronger. Um, could they be a sinister, excuse me, a sinister government? And that's another thing that I was thinking of. Like, if we create this problem, then we'll benefit from being the ones who fix it. We can take our time to fix it so that we can get more people on board to think in the way that we think. I don't know. You know, sometimes the world that we're living in, art is going to imitate life. Angus said the last two episodes of Discovery showed us that the DMA is created by a device and that the other end of the DMA is outside of the galaxy. Earth is still not a Federation member. That's going to be a bigger deal than Navarre. Yeah. He said, yeah, they did say in the latest episode that it came from outside of the galaxy. Hmm. I'm trying to think of like a way that that could have happened. I mean, they were trying to go to the galaxy's edge. or were they not? Correct me if I'm wrong. Since Cass says, just speaking as a fan of general science space stuff, the idea of venturing to another galaxy is very fun. We've seen it done. We have seen it done in Star Trek. That's what I'm saying. You need to get on board, Cass. Come on. Clarence says, I'm not sure they'll have enough time to introduce a new unknown species and wrap it all up before the season ends. Yeah, so it's likely it's going to be somebody we know, and in my opinion, it could possibly be the people who stand to gain the most, and who stands to gain the most then the Federation, and by proxy President Rillick, because I'm always trying to make it her. I really am. Oh, I'm gonna try to make it her, because some about her still doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, you're still thinking of someone we know. I agree. We know them. We know them. Angus said we did see a race from outside of the galaxy back in TOS. Remind me. And Clarence says, good point, Angus. Oh, okay. And Angus says, if she's using this crisis to get her way. And that's what I'm saying. And it could have potentially probably been solved already. But, and hear me out. And I don't know where I originally got this idea. So if it was originally your idea, I wish I could remember right now. But this idea that that this is all political. Again, we started off being political. She said there was nothing that was more important to her in so many words than growing the Federation. So we know that any other worlds that she could get into the Federation under her presidency makes her look that much better for the next time you have to vote on a president, next election, right? So if she's using the fact that this anomaly is out here destroying worlds, and she says only the United States, well, not only the United States, see, you see where my mind is going though, only the United Federation of Planets, only us, we the only people who can protect you. We've got the fastest ship in the fleet, the only ship that can jump from one point to another in moments. Of course, if we didn't let this if we didn't let Quajon get destroyed, we let Quajon get destroyed, hint hint wink wink, because we wanted to make sure that there would be uh no more pilots for spore drives. So you can make some spore drives if you want to spore drive, but it's only two people who can fly it, and they're over here in the Federation. So now you need us to protect you. To if things got hard, we could bring you food. We can take you away from the planet. This is a political maneuver, and that is why what's his name, Ruan Tarka. That's why he was able to put that whole thing together so quickly. It's because he knew how to do it, because they're behind it. We're gonna see. Cass said, hell, Voyager gave us another universal species, right? Yes, but these are like these series now, with especially the Discovery, they're like half the length of Voyager. So are we going to introduce uh, a new species and wrap this thing up in 13 episodes? Or would we need that 27 episode arc to wrap something that monumental up, by any other name? He said the episode was called by any other. It was about I gotta get reminded. I'm gonna have to look it up because I don't remember it. 250 years later, it's still about politics. Oh, it's far more than 250 years later. TOS episode 221. By any other name. Why did I say? And the episode begins. Beings from another galaxy commandeer. Oh, yes, I do remember it. Yes, I do remember it. Those weird, the Kelvin people, and people have been saying stuff about the Kelvins too. So yeah, I've been seeing that that there are a lot of theories about them as well. So Rohan explains they are scouts from the Kelvin Empire of the neighboring Andromeda galaxy, which seeks a new home by force as their galaxy will soon reach unsustainable radiation levels. Right, the current species can't be called Kelvins. Clarence said, I was thinking of 8472 when they went into the dead zone within the rift, especially when the mentioned when they mentioned Voyager specifically as an example of rift travel. Yeah. Cass says, I Googled Discovery timeline and got the first episode of Star Trek Discovery takes place in 2255, a decade before the events of the original series. So something fun apparently happens. Yeah, I kind of wish I wouldn't have told you that it wasn't 250 years. Yeah, I kind of blew that for you. I wasn't thinking. uh, Clarence also said that 8472 is fluidic space. Angus says 8472 just needs a hug as a species. They've been having a bad time of it. Oh, Cass, man after my own heart, did an edible, won't remember any of this. Oh gosh, yeah, I know the feeling, man. I truly do. Oh gosh. So okay, so we can say the Kelvins, but they're not Kelvins, right? And then we can say 8472, but it's not 8470. Or no, it can be 8472 in this situation. So it could be 8472. It could be the Kelvins, or it could be us, the Federation. Those are, I mean, and of course it can be a whole lot of other things, but these are the three we're running with right now. And we'll run with that until we think that we have something otherwise. Because yeah, just piggybacking off of each other's little thought nuggets. Each one of us has something, I guess, plausible that we have to add to the conversation. And the more I just sit and just build on the stuff that you guys have said in other episodes or in in future episodes, because we know this conversation ain't gonna stop. This whole thing could be a V'ger situation. I have heard that being said too. And then we got this. Gosh, I get tired of having to block these little. I don't know what these little comments be, but anyhow, yeah, I I can see. I don't want it to be V'ger. I don't want it to be that. I don't. But I can see how it could happen, and I couldn't get mad. It's not like they came to me to write the episode and and they changed something. So I just got to roll with whatever it is, whatever they come up with. What really? Whatever they come up with, I'm a roll with. Yeah, I don't want no V'ger. No V'ger. Uh-uh. I am still rather excited though, to see where this thing goes. And let's ask this question. You know, uh, the ship Calypso. When we think about Calypso, the short trek episode, and then we move into we just saw the crew being stored in a pattern buffer. I mean, is that the way we're going to see them? Is that where they're going to be when the events of Calypso took place? Are they going to be in the pattern buffer the whole time? I'm going back and I'm watching Calypso again, and they get me. I watch it every season now, or right before something big happens, I'm watching Calypso because I'm like, okay, this has got to be it. And it's not, to me, this part is not a letdown. This has got me truly excited to see how that ties into anything. Cass said, I was certainly watching the episode you wrote. I don't know if you agree with that, Clarence. I don't know, y'all. That's very dangerous territory. Me writing Star Trek, you get something like Lower Decks. the prude version of Lower Decks. Mm. Angus said, one more tech that worries me for the setting: pattern buffer stasis, bringing out the crew only when you need them. Clarence said, what if they had to send the ship back for some reason, but to another galaxy so Control couldn't find it? And he said, I don't know how or if Calypso will ever play in. I hope so, though. But they keep pointing us back to it. Like Zora, just the existence of Zora and her choosing the name Zora for herself is another way that they're saying we're pointing you right back to this episode. Then her singing in this episode points us right back to Calypso. Just the simple fact that something catastrophic can happen, and if any ship can go to the edge of the galaxy and do whatever it is I thought I heard them saying was happening, they at the edge of the galaxy. If any ship can do it, it's Discovery. And I'm just wondering if the fact that if they end up doing that, going to the edge of the galaxy for whatever reason, trying to collect data or whatever it is they're trying to do, and they cause the very problem that they're trying to solve. Yeah, we saw a right. I guess what she's choosing, or yeah, what she's choosing to be her body. Angus says there are closer extra galactic places than Andromeda. Oh, you about to make me say the Magellanic clouds, namely in Pegasus. There's lots of options. Yeah, yeah. Um, and then you had Book going through his little crisis with the dad. And I'm like, okay, we were asking if we were going to see more of Gray, and it's looking like they're going to incorporate him far more in other areas, like of course not being part of the crew per se, but he at least is going to have uh some role in helping to keep the mental health of people on the ship and the ship itself. They become important. Oh, Claire said we have a visual for it on Calypso as well, but it's a circular looking screen. I'm gonna watch that again, maybe today. Uh, it'll be the red anomalies all over again. Where's my red thing? I want my red thing. Oh, And you said you like Gray's new hairstyle, more up to date mullet is the way I look at it. It's a mullet, but the kids are, they bring back everything that we did back in the day. So here we are. But it is a nice hairstyle. Um, he gets, yeah. Book got haunted. Book was haunted by his daddy in this episode. His daddy was like, "Daddy is a beast, huh? What, you gonna do this for love?" Yes. Oh, and he had that, and I mean, it's kind of like he had that good conversation with Book and Saru, that I thought, gosh, this is making the people who uh kind of troll this show. Oh, this is giving them something to hate on. This whole conversation. Yeah, he's dead. He said Book's dad was awesome, more of him, but he's dead. I guess. Yeah, he's dead. I don't know if we'll ever see Book's dad again, but I would be open to seeing more of his father, his real dad, to see, you know, what the other side is. Especially this whole thing was almost like I'm choosing my name, and Book did the same thing with his dad. Like, no, 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 I don't go by that name. My name is Book. Yeah, Saru's response. It again, if you are a troll, you are going to hate his response. But the response did feel, uh, it felt like, it wasn't over the top. It was a relevant uh, observation on Saru's part, but it just sounds like something else, and it's gonna be some people who gonna be mad about that. Oh gosh. Now see, TOS season 3, episode 7, Enterprise is stranded in a void beyond the barrier that sounds similar to what Discovery experiences here in terms of having no sensor data or reference points. There is no mention of the ship being eaten by the rift. With confirmation that the DMA originated extragalactically, there is even more of a chance that we're in for a Trek series crossover. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Say, Book always trying to jump in his ship when something happened. I'm telling you, Book, he either I want to go, standing at the door of his coat, or he is outside before you even get your keys together. Book is standing at the door. Oh gosh. Oh, you can ask a Hawkeye question because we covered that one a little earlier. So go ahead and ask your question now. Um, I don't know. I hope we're not just going. Well, I don't know. I can't say what I hope. Hey, was you guys happy to see the chief medical officer again this week? They just bring her out. It was one scene where it was every person in this scene was black except for the cat. The cat's not black. But yeah, so I was like, did they bring her out to do this black scene? Gosh. You said you've seen the first two episodes, and is it worth going on for? I mean, I can objectively say that the first two episodes were the like slower setup. If you watch episode 3 and don't like it, you don't even have to move on. You know the Kingpin side of things. You wouldn't even have to move on if you don't like episode 3. So give episode 3, at least give it a shot. Um, Angus says, now the Extra galactic void is full of reference points. So they must have been in subspace or superspace or hyperspace or some space where light doesn't work. And then Clarence is agreeing. Dr. Pollard, want more Dr. Pollard? Yes. Yes. Um, Honestly, I thought this one was a good episode. And we can still continue to discuss it. I'm not wrapping it up by any means. I just don't want to forget to give my rating. And this time, I think I like this one to the beat of 4.75 out of 5. Um, this was a great episode. Fantastic episode. And I'm trying to think why I gave last week a 5 and gave this one a 4.75. I don't know. I don't know what the difference between the two is, but I really and truly did enjoy this episode. Uh, Cass says, my brain feels too small to comprehend. Extra galactic void. Not even sure I remembered those two words properly. But that's the thing. Some of us have been watching Star Trek forever and ever and ever, and some of this is just secondary language to us. I got to think about stuff sometimes because it's been a very long time since I gave uh, going all the way back to the original series another watch. So a lot of it, is murky. Some of us are more well versed in other aspects of the show, but it seems like I got somebody that covers each one of our bases in the group. I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm talking in circles. Angus said, "There's black folks in the future. Sheesh, what the future coming to?" Claire said, "I'm probably a 4.2, maybe a bit higher. Very good, but methodical episode. Gosh." Oh, Cass, hot take. You don't like Kirk? And let me think now. I mean, what you want from me? You want me to say no? You gotta like Kirk. That's not this kind of show. You do not have to like Kirk. You don't even have to like Star Trek. You know, you're here because we just enjoy having conversations. But uh, if I can understand why you wouldn't. His personality is a bit over the top. He hams it up quite a bit in a lot of the episodes, and the overacting can be a little bit. It could be quite a bit to handle. Uh, Angus says, "I like to focus on science problems and science solutions this season." Yes, keep it right here. And each one of these little episodes, while we're still trying to further this plot point of the DMA. We still trying to push that forward, but this episode can stand alone. Somebody coming from the outside in to Star Trek Discovery could get some enjoyment out of this episode. Cass says, "I apparently just wanted the world to know your opinion." Yeah, put it on a t-shirt too. There are characters, I promise you, that I don't like. I probably it's fewer that I don't like than what I do. So I roll with what I do. But yeah, that's an opinion. Everybody got one. You said the most recent Christopher Pike is your captain. Yeah, I like him too. He did an outstanding job as Pike. Claire said, "Yes, Angus. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping the culprit is a science problem." Yeah. Say, put it on a t-shirt. Yeah, I might look. If you mess around one of these weeks somehow and you win the Black Media Trivia, instead of sending you stickers, I will send you a t-shirt that says hot take. I don't like Kirk. Oh gosh, that Anson Mount is amazing. Jeffrey Hunter was good too. Who the heck was Jeffrey Hunter? What did Jeffrey Hunter do? Was that the original Pike? But yes, I love Anson Mount. Oh yeah, yeah, that's him. That's him. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I figured him out, Uh, Mr. Brown, First Pike. Man, I hope we could get you in the fold, Kaz. You let me know when you get started watching Discovery, so we can do a week by week check in to see if you still hanging in there. I wouldn't mind, um at least if we do this every week and one person starts watching the show, I will feel vindicated for doing it. So, Stormy Weather, beautiful episode. I loved it. And I always love when Jonathan Frakes revisits Star Trek. So we're there, and next week we will be covering. Is that next week? Yeah, next week we're going to be covering Book of Boba Fett. So we'll have Book of Boba Fett. We'll have an episode of Star Trek Discovery, and I'm gonna try to find a third. But if we don't have a third, then we'll wait a couple weeks and get that slide. What's his name? Gosh, what is the Peacemaker? We'll slide him in that slot. Hmm. Said there was a moment when Jonathan Archer had to choose to commit space piracy in order to survive. Great captain in a terrible situation. It was brilliant. It was. That was. I mean, I honestly feel I got so pissed off. Now the song, I agree with everybody. The song for Enterprise was a little ambitious. It was a little ambitious, but the series itself, I really and truly enjoyed Enterprise. It was the series that ended too soon for me. There were so many more stories. There was an arc. These I thought the Zindi War arc would have been a perfect way to progress throughout the series instead of wrapping it up hurriedly wrapping it up. It was just so much that I loved about Enterprise. I really was upset that people did that show the way they did it. Cass said, never watched a second of Enterprise either. Oh, I really loved Enterprise. Clarence loved it as well. And Angus said, ambitious being a euphemism for god awful. Let me tell you, the first few times I heard the song, it didn't bother me. But then once you get to the point where I got to hear this every week. I gotta hear this every week. Then it started to grind on my gears. Yeah. Said the last season of Enterprise was some of the best Trek ever. And just imagine if they would have let it continue. The thing found his feet, found his legs up under it, and it went into to being um it went into being what could have potentially been one of the best series in Star Trek. And then they pulled the plug. And I really want to know. I really want I wouldn't mind having that, be picked up again. I know that it's hard. We're kind of boxed in now by canon on all sides, but I would love to have seen that. Uh Cass, oh gosh, YouTube and the Enterprise theme now. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. You won't bring Archer back. Yes. We're gonna be that toxic element of the fan base that'll be like, you know what? Yeah, we want you to bring back Archer. Make it happen, make it fit. And the thing is, wasn't there a point, and I can't remember what year it was. I know I did some looking up of it last season, but when Archer hopped into time, into the future, what was what was the year? that they landed in. Because if they landed around the time of where Discovery is, then why not be able to look in on them and see what's going on? Cass says 10 seconds in, and it lost me. It's been a wrong road getting from there to here. He said, "Hey, it got a strange new world." See, yes, all the wine. But you know what? That was still done far more respectfully than like the release the Snyder cut, aggressive out there. They're like Vikings. Release the Snyder cut. We did it a little more respectfully. You're like, can you guys please give us more of that? Please, we would appreciate it. Thank you. And they just said, yeah, we hear you guys, and we're gonna give it to you. Now, hopefully, they don't give it to us, and we are so unappreciative that we start asking for something else immediately, because that's what that toxic element in that other fandom. That's what they did, you know. He said that song is the Star Trek version of Rick Roll. It's been a long road. So yeah, faith of the heart. Your mouth started to what I used to call sweat. Mama, my mouth is sweating. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Your mouth sweating. Oh gosh. Well, I don't have nothing else, y'all. I told y'all where we going next week. It'll be a shorter episode, obviously, unless Discovery gives us a lot to talk about. And I'm not going to say that it won't, because again, mid-season, they have to know that this mid-season finale has got to be the thing. You know, it's got to be what brings us back next season. So they got to hit this mid-season finale out the park. They have to. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about the Book of Boba Fett. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of kind of who is Boba Fett. Maybe I'll get a little video out before we start to watch it, because some people want to follow along but are not as invested. And I had to learn a lot about Boba Fett when he showed up in The Mandalorian, because again, I'm not the diehard Star Wars person, but you know, I do like it now. I've come to have an appreciation for it. Devil's Advocate. The visuals in the intro are amazing, though. So yeah, this that song, no man. It once it got to the point where we can like skip it. I don't know when the last time I really heard the real version, because I skipped the shit out of it. I can't. I can't. I have to be like literally. I got to be someplace in a whole different room when the next episode comes on, and then I might let it play. So I don't even remember the visuals because I never let it play ever. But I don't let any of them play. Um, and you know, I am slightly, I got bad vision. Hell, you guys know that. Um, if I wore real glasses sitting here, you talk about the Coke bottle glasses, that's me. Okay. So sometimes I'm watching, and like I was looking for the skip on the Paramount Plus app, and I still don't know for sure if they have one. It seems like it was one there before, and now there isn't. But it was like one day I looked and it was one. So I'm like, I don't know if it's because I can't see, like I'm losing the colors are so similar that one is not standing out. Is there a skip function in the Paramount Plus app all the time? Y'all tell me. They just added it. Thank you, Clarence. Because I'm like, one day it was just there. And I'm like, did I miss that all this time? Because I wanted that to be there a long time ago. So they just added it. Thank you, Clarence. Cass says that song turned me off as a Trek fan. Couldn't imagine going into it completely cold. Yeah, you got to skip that. Or turn it down, mute it. That's even better because then you'll get to see the visuals that Clarence is talking about. You'll get to see the visuals if you just mute it going into that it's like nails on a chalkboard, that theme song. It really, I don't know if it got better or worse because didn't they speed it up and make it a little more jumpy and happy peppy? And I'm like, why would y'all do that? Y'all making it worse. Said it only made you think, boy, I would rather be watching Quantum Leap. Oh gosh. Mhm. He said the song was selected to broaden the audience appeal of the show. Fail. You should have stuck right on with the orchestral openings because that was not it. That was not it. Oh gosh. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna go in here and find something to munch on. It's been fun as usual. Um, we're gonna see what Book of Boba Fett brings us. Keep your eyes open for that. I don't know. You guys let me know if you like the 6 o'clock start better. Did I start at 6? Yeah, I started at 6. If you guys like the 6 o'clock start better, we can keep it here. If not, it's whatever. You guys let me know when you guys like it. Good good night. Good night, Kaz. Thanks for joining us again. Oh gosh. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Um, and outside of that, I've got nothing else. I'm gonna go back in here and find some food to munch on. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.